Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to continue my coverage of the Steam Spring Sale. A lot of great deals and a lot of great prices. So, gonna be highlighting some more deals under the price of $10 because there's literally close to an infinite number of games on sale under $10. It's not infinite, but you guys get the idea. There's a crap load of them. So without further ado, let's get right into it and let's start things off with Remedy's Control Ultimate Edition, 75% off for $9.99. Mentioned Alan Wake in the under $5 video, and while I loved Alan Wake, Control is still my favorite game that Remedy has put out. I thought from a gameplay standpoint, it was just fantastic. Thought the story, while it gives your, kind of wacky Remedy fare. Not wacky. I feel like wacky isn't really the right terminology for it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, Remedy narratives are a little bit out there. Control, I thought, came together nicely by the end. Visually, it looks great, and the gameplay is really enjoyable. Ultimate Edition includes the expansions as well. 75% off for $9.99, and I still consider Control to be Remedy's best game, and I hope, and I do believe they're doing a sequel to this game, so can't wait for that, but, yeah, that's probably gonna be, like, 3 decades away, so hopefully I'm still on planet Earth by the time it comes out. But $9.99 for that is great. Next up, we got Max Payne 3, 70% off for $5.99. When you talk about Rockstar games, you're talking Red Dead Redemption, you're talking Grand Theft Auto. Max Payne these days isn't remembered as much, and credit to Remedy, they are working on remakes of Max Payne 1 and 2, but Max Payne 3 was a stellar game that I played. It was one of my very early PC games that I actually played. And I may or may not have played this game through some nefarious means. It's in my Steam library now, but maybe back in the day, your boy didn't have the finances, so to speak. But nonetheless, 70% off for $5.99 is a great deal, and I would strongly recommend it. It's a super gritty, over-the-top, mature shooter. It is a game that definitely is not for everybody, but at the same time, I thought narratively it was pretty strong, and I still love, like, the bullet time mechanics and everything like that. Just thought it was a really well-done game. For $5.99, I think it's a damn good pickup, so definitely would give that a shout. Next up, we got Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, 85% off for $5.99. Wolfenstein 2 is a damn good game, and as a single-player FPS, I think it's a pretty damn good one. Now, I would recommend you to play Wolfenstein The New Order before you play Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, but New Colossus is a really enjoyable game. Now, with Wolfenstein, it does get a little bit wacky by the end of the story, but from a gameplay standpoint, I think it works pretty well, and again, I would just play New Order first. New Colossus does have like a recap video or whatever if you just do want to go through that, but nonetheless, $5.99 for that is great. The development studio in Machine Games, they're the guys that are actually working on the Indiana Jones game, which honestly, I think that Indiana Jones game looks kind of bad, but we'll see. I've seen games look kind of crappy and then ultimately turn out to be really good. Like Hellblade is one that I initially thought looked pretty mid, and then it ended up being one of those games that I absolutely love, so we'll see how Indiana Jones turns out, but they did a great job with Wolfenstein, New Order, and New Colossus, and New Colossus for $5.99, definitely a good pickup here. Next up, we have Ghostrunner. It is 70% off for $8.99. Now, Ghostrunner is a game that can make it damn near break a controller. It can get pretty challenging and pretty annoying in terms of the precision that is required for this game, but it is incredibly addictive, incredibly rewarding to finish sections of the game. I thought the platforming in this game was absolutely excellent as well. If you take Ghostrunner and you just take its gameplay and just make a sole platforming game out of Ghostrunner, I think that would work pretty well. Obviously, like, it's good for what it does as well, but I thought the platforming was really well done. Great soundtrack as well, and for a game like this where you are gonna mess up a lot, what it does really well is getting you right back into the thick of things. Like, no second to waste, you're right back in there, and that creates an addictive loop of gameplay, and I thought Ghostrunner did that masterfully. $8.99 for the game is quite good. Ghostrunner 2 is now out, and that's something you might want to look at. There is also the Ghostrunner Complete Edition. That's a little hefty of a price point, 40% off for $24, so kind of pricey there. Next up, we got another Rockstar title, GTA 4, the Complete Edition, 70% off for $5.99. Now, a little while ago, I talked about Grand Theft Auto 4 in one of these deals videos, and I mentioned how I just don't think the game is as good as some people hype it up to be, particularly critics back in 2008, I think it was, when it came out. It was getting 10 out of 10s everywhere, and I just didn't perceive this game to be a 10 out of 10 title. I thought it was a solid, 8, 8.5, around that range, and a lot of you guys really pushed push back on my notion that this game was not a 10 out of 10. Some of you guys seem to absolutely love it. And hey, more power to you. I thought it was a good game. I just didn't think it was great. I do think GTA 5 is a better game. Like, I know some of you guys might think that's crazy, but for $5.99, you're getting the complete edition, you're getting the bonus expansions and whatnot. It's a really good pickup, and I would still say give it a look. You know, at this point, does it show its age a little bit? Yeah, there is a pretty active modding scene for it. I remember installing some graphics mod when I did my playthrough on this on PC, and it looked pretty damn good, all things considered. For a game from 2008, it looked pretty damn good, so $5.99, definitely a solid pickup there. Next up, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. 67% off for $9.89. You can get the Ori collection that includes Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. 73% off for $13.39. Really solid Metroidvania here. I would definitely play Blind Forest first before you play Will of the Wisps, but either way, you're going to get a great game. Art style is tremendous in these games. Like, visually, they just look fantastic, and narratively, they're pretty strong as well. And there's a reason why the game has 115,000 Steam reviews. 96% of those reviews are positive. Moon Studios is working on a new game. I forget off the top of my head what it's called. No Rest for the Wicked, I think it is, and it'll be hitting early access sometime fairly soon. So that's something to be on the lookout for as well. But for now, Ori, definitely a good pickup here. Next up, we got Mafia Definitive Edition, 75% off for $9.99. Now, I do want to mention that if you want all three of the Mafia games, the trilogy is a damn good shout at 67% off for $19.79. They're each priced at $10. You essentially get one of the games for free if you buy the Mafia trilogy. If you had to pick one, I would obviously start with the first game. You could jump into the games without playing the other ones, but, you know, why not just play all three? Mafia 1, I thought, was a great game, and this definitive edition is a ground-up remake. Now, it still shows its age. The gameplay is very, very basic. Not bad, but just very basic. It doesn't reinvent the wheel in any way, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The reason you play this game is for the excellent narrative, the great characters, great voice acting in this game as well. Not super lengthy, but you know what? As I say, whenever I talk about Mafia, sometimes this is exactly what the doctor ordered, given today's gaming is filled with 30 to 40 hour lengthy games, even longer than that. Sometimes it's nice to have an 8 to 10 hour game that you can complete over a weekend, and then you can move on to the next game. And it's one of those games that every couple of years I'll certainly do another playthrough of. Came out back in 2020, so at this point I've only completed it twice, but, you know, like every 2 to 3 years, if I want something that's a little bit shorter, Mafia Definitive Edition is gonna be the game, or one of those games that I'm gonna look at. There's several games like this, but Mafia is one that does definitely stand out. Next up, we got Resident Evil 2, the remake. Hey, this is another one, a little bit on the shorter side, 75% off for $9.99, but again, sometimes this is exactly what you want, and the Resident Evil games really fill that category well. Ground-up remake of Resident Evil 2. I don't have nostalgic affinity towards Resident Evil 2, but man, this remake I thought was absolutely tremendous. Incredible atmosphere, great survival horror game, and definitely worthwhile to go through for $9.99. Great pickup. The team that did this also did the tremendous Resident Evil 4 remake, and hopefully they do a killer job with whatever remake they're going to work on next, whether it be Code Veronica, RE5, I don't know, but a lot of potential there to say the least. Next up, we do have Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition. This is 85% off for $8.99. It has been cheaper. It's been as low as $5.99, I believe, but man, if you're spending $9 to get Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I would still deem that to be of highway robbery tier. That is a phenomenal deal for 3 excellent third-person action RPGs. You're getting a lot of content for your dollar. You're getting a sizable amount of DLC content as well, and incredible games. Incredible games, and BioWare with these 3 titles really at their absolute apex, and it's a shame to see how far they've fallen off. Bear in mind, and I'll continue to give you guys this stat, the entire Mass Effect trilogy, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, came out from the time period of 2007, fall of 2007, until early 2012. So that was a 4.5-year period. These days, most games require well over 4.5 years just to get done, and BioWare in that time period put out an entire trilogy, and the trilogy is still revered to be one of the best video game RPG franchises ever. And since then, BioWare in the last 4.5 years, you look at what they've put out. Did Anthem come out in the last 4.5 years? I don't even think so. I don't think BioWare has put anything out in the last 4.5 years, so kind of an unfortunate state in gaming. But as these games get bigger, development times do widen, and it is what it is, I guess. Lastly, another great collection. Gotta give a shout to the Halo Master Chief Collection, 75% off for $9.99. You get Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and yes, Halo Reach is in there as well. For $9.99, it's one of the greatest collections that you can pick up, and I'm not even that crazy about Halo. I loved Halo Reach. That Halo Reach, like, trailer that they played on TV, the commercial, still something that is near and dear to my heart. Just one of the best commercials, I think, for a video game ever. Microsoft did some damn good commercials in that era. You guys remember the Gears of War Mad World trailer commercial? That was awesome as well, man. They were on a different level. They were operating on a different level at that time, and it's kind of sad to see what's come of Microsoft as well in the last few years. Maybe it's a little bit of nostalgia, I don't know, but what I do know is Halo MCC, just from a campaign standpoint, these games are worthwhile to go through, and for $9.99, a bargain for all of the games you're getting. But that'll do it for me. Again, let me know all of your thoughts, as always, in the comment section down below. Links to everything in the comments as well. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.